Welcome back to Coronation Street Update. What would you do if the person you loved dropped to one knee, ready to ask you to spend the rest of your life together, just seconds before you admitted to killing someone? Tonight, Coronation Street delivers one of the most emotionally devastating moments of the year. A surprise proposal, a secret that can no longer stay buried, and one confession that could destroy not only a relationship, but an entire murder investigation. Because Sarah Platt has finally told the truth. But that truth may have come far too late. For weeks, Sarah has been living with a secret so heavy that it has slowly poisoned every moment of her life. Outwardly, she has tried to smile. She has tried to carry on. She has tried to convince everyone, including herself, that everything would somehow work out. But guilt has a way of demanding to be heard, no matter how deeply it's buried. And tonight, that guilt finally explodes. Let's rewind for a moment. On the night Theo Silverton died, Sarah wasn't looking for trouble. She was looking for Todd. Worried about her friend after everything Theo had put him through, Sarah headed towards the corner shop flat. She called Todd's phone, but instead of hearing his voice, she heard the ringtone outside. Curious, confused, she climbed onto the scaffolding. And that's when everything changed. Standing there was Theo Silverton. Still alive. Still dangerous. Still determined to inflict pain. Even in what would become the final moments of his life. What followed wasn't just an argument. It was psychological warfare. Theo mocked Sarah's past. He insulted her children. He weaponized the heartbreaking loss of the baby she once shared with Todd. Every word was designed to wound. Every sentence pushed Sarah closer to the edge. And then, Theo lunged. In that terrifying instant, Sarah didn't think. She reacted. She grabbed a loose scaffold pole. One desperate swing. One split-second decision. And Theo fell. But that may not be the whole truth. Was it self-defense? Was it manslaughter? Or has Sarah spent weeks convincing herself she crossed a line that never truly existed? That's the heartbreaking emotional conflict at the center of this storyline. Sarah isn't behaving like a cold-blooded killer. She's behaving like someone drowning in trauma. Unable to think clearly, Sarah made one crucial decision. She didn't call the police. She called Gary Windass. And that single phone call may prove just as life-changing as Theo's death itself. Gary immediately slipped back into his old role, the fixer. The man who always believes he can solve impossible situations. Instead of encouraging Sarah to tell the truth, he created an escape plan. He ordered her home. Build an alibi. Say nothing. Protect yourself. But every cover-up comes with a price. Ironically, Sarah's attempt to create an alibi only made things worse. When she arrived home, Jody Ramsey attacked her with an ornament. Another layer of chaos. Another secret. Another mystery added to an already impossible situation. Since then, Sarah has been trapped inside an emotional prison. Sleeping beside lies. Living beside fear. Waiting for the day everything finally collapsed. That day has now arrived. Meanwhile, DS Lisa Swain continues investigating Theo's murder. And Kit Green finds himself caught between duty and love. Lisa even encourages Kit to stop worrying about the investigation and focus on his relationship with Sarah. A touching piece of advice. But tragically, she has no idea how close the truth already is. Because while the police investigation closes in, Kit is planning something completely different. Something beautiful. Something hopeful. A proposal. Imagine the scene. A romantic dinner. Candles. A ring hidden away. A future waiting to begin. Kit isn't thinking about murder. He's thinking about marriage. He's imagining forever. But forever is impossible when secrets stand between two people. Sarah walks into the apartment. She sees the table. She sees Kit. She sees the engagement ring. And for just one brief moment, you almost believe happiness is still possible. But then everything changes. Kit asks Sarah to marry him. The question every couple dreams about. The perfect moment. Except, Sarah can't breathe. The ring doesn't represent hope. It represents everything she's about to lose. Because how can she promise forever? When she's hiding the darkest secret of her life. The guilt becomes unbearable. Sarah tries to refuse. Kit immediately senses something is wrong. He pushes gently. Wanting answers. Expecting perhaps a family issue. Or cold feet. He said. He hears the one confession no police officer and no boyfriend could ever prepare for. I killed Theo. Just 4 words. But they shatter everything. The silence afterwards says more than any dialogue ever could. Kit isn't just hearing a confession. He's watching his entire world collapse. The woman he loves has admitted involvement in the biggest murder investigation currently consuming Weatherfield. Professionally, he should report her. Personally, he wants to protect her. Emotionally, he doesn't even know what to believe anymore. This isn't simply a relationship crisis. It's an impossible moral dilemma. Sarah desperately explains herself. He tells Kit about Theo attacking her. She tells him she acted in fear. She explains why she turned to Gary instead of calling him. But this explanation creates another wound. One that cuts even deeper. Kit can't hide his hurt. When Sarah needed someone most, he chose Gary. Not him. That realization is devastating. But his trust, once broken, is incredibly difficult to rebuild. Psychologically, Kit's reaction feels completely authentic. He's angry, heartbroken, confused. Not simply because Sarah kept a secret, but because every memory they've shared now feels different. Every smile, every conversation, every promise. Was all of it happening while she carried this enormous lie? That's the question tearing him apart. Then comes another heartbreaking image. Kit quietly picks up the engagement ring, the symbol of the future he wanted. Then his keys. Without another word, he walks out. No shouting. No dramatic arrest. Just silence. Sometimes silence hurts far more than anger ever could. And that's exactly what makes this moment so powerful. But where is Kit going? To Lisa? To the police station? To confront Gary? Or simply somewhere he can process the impossible decision now facing him? Because whatever he chooses, someone's life is about to change forever. Kit reports Sarah. Their relationship is over. If he protects her, he risks destroying his own career. Either way, nobody wins. And Gary's role in all of this is becoming increasingly dangerous. His instincts have always been to protect the people he loves. But protection and justice rarely walk the same path. His decision to cover up Sarah's involvement may have saved her that night. But now it threatens to destroy everything. His relationship. His future. His freedom. And perhaps even Sarah's last chance of proving she acted in self-defense. My prediction? This confession won't stay between Sarah and Kit for long. Secrets this explosive never do. I think Lisa Swain is about to find herself investigating someone she never imagined. Gary's actions will come under even greater scrutiny. And Kit will be forced to make the biggest decision of his life. Love or duty. Neither choice leaves him untouched. One thing is certain. This isn't the end of the Theo Silverton mystery. It's only the beginning of its most emotionally explosive chapter. But sometimes, the hardest confession isn't admitting what happened. It's living with what comes next.